Okay, all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Executive Director Charlotte Carter from the New York State Dispute Resolution Association, and she is joined by Julia Loesch, Executive Director for Resolution and Justice. Welcome. I know it's been an extremely long day, and we appreciate your tenacity.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you all for this opportunity to speak. We're here on behalf of a statewide network called CDRCs, the Community Dispute Resolution Centers. And thank you for that introduction. The New York State Dispute Resolution Association is a bit of a hybrid. We're a statewide contract program administrator, and we also are a professional association. The CDRCs are among our members. Together, we provide access to justice and tools like mediation to help people to address conflict productively and quickly. And those services are provided in every county in New York. We're here to request $3 million as a legislative add to stabilize our network and to allow us to respond to emerging community needs. In 1981, the New York legislature was the first in the country to pass legislation to create the CDRC network, and the funding and oversight was provided by OCA. The budget grew from an initial $529,000 for 17 counties to a little over $9 million in 2010. In 2011, that funding was slashed by nearly 50%, and it has not increased significantly since then. Despite the dramatically reduced funding, the CDRCs have continued to provide free or low-cost mediation and conflict resolution services to your constituents. They help ensure that people do not lose their homes, their jobs, or basic human services. Mediation solves disputes between neighbors, family members, business owners, and customers, and they're resolved often before those disputes escalate to require intervention by police or the court system. In addition to this low-cost, high-yield conflict management process, there's a very high compliance rate. Also, 92% of the participants are very satisfied with their mediation. Everyone benefits from the restoration of important personal and business relationships. Last year, the network served over 70,000 individuals and handled over 28,000 cases. Mediation saves the state and the court system money and resources. From start to finish, the average mediation costs $336, which is far less than court costs for even minor criminal or civil matters. CDRCs match state funding dollar for dollar. They use professionally trained community volunteers to mediate cases, with donated time valued at over $2.3 million annually. Over 75% of mediations conclude with a written agreement, usually within a few weeks of the initial intake. The CDRC offers access to efficient and effective justice for all New Yorkers, especially for our most vulnerable populations.
The demand for the work mentioned by Charlotte continues to grow, but so do the costs of providing services. My CDRC covers Allegheny, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Erie, Genesee, Niagara, Orleans, and Wyoming counties, and yet we have only 6 staff providing services across this vast 8-county region, in which one of my offices can be nearly 2 hours from the other. We have slowed our expansion of elder and veterans mediation and all but stopped our conflict education and peer mediation programs in local schools, despite increasing requests for these services. My story is not unique. Each of you here today has a CDRC in your community with a similar story of unfortunate realities and difficult choices about who to serve and who must wait for mediation and other services. Given the many ways in which CDRC services benefit communities beyond the court system, we come to ask you to help diversify and stabilize our base funding. We have been meeting with legislatures in district and here in Albany, and we're pleased that we've had a great response on the ground. The $3 million legislative ad will make it possible for the CDRC network to continue to provide responsive, effective, and accessible dispute resolution services to all of your constituents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for covering such a wide territory. Appreciate it. But we appreciate you being here tonight and staying so long, and your testimony is very helpful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next